Good morning, guys. I want to try some different videos. So we'll see how this goes. First of all, it's like super early morning. My voice, I've got my morning voice. I do have my coffee here, so that should help get me going. But basically, this video, I want to experiment with alcohol inks. So I recently did some organization of my desk, and I found, I knew I had alcohol inks from way back. These were when they were Adirondack brand, and I used them in my mixed media way back, and then I kind of stopped using them, and they sat out of sight, out of mind, and collected dust. I actually wiped these tops off, so you can see, I think by the collection of what I was really using them for was like adding shading and interest to my skin tones on mixed media. That didn't ever really happen. Anyway, so I digress. This is why I don't do live, even like filming videos. I talk too much, and that's why I do the voiceovers, because I can focus. Anyway, so I got the alcohol pearls recently. You guys saw in my unboxing video. So these are here. I want to play with these. And then I also have, these are all the pearls. I have a black, which is interesting. And I just saw that there's a white. So I'm going to have to get the white because that looks really cool. Here's some of the Mixatives metals. And then I was at Hobby Lobby this weekend. I don't go... Hobby Lobby is like 45 minutes, 50 minutes away from me, so I don't know. Like when I get off the mountain, oh my gosh, I have to go into the places where I don't get to go. So I picked up some colors. What I wish I had done was realized that I have a color palette that I like. So I picked up blues and purples and greens and then pinks. And I wish I would have picked up some yellows because I don't have any yellow. I have sandal and peach Bellini. Those are not yellow. So I have no yellow, which is kind of a bummer. I wish I would have gotten some yellow. So that will have to be fixed. I also picked up the blending solution by Brea Reese. And as I was cleaning, excuse me, I did come across, I have the, I mean, this is old. I hope it's not like bad because it's yellow. Maybe if I mix it. I have no idea if it's supposed to be white or yellow. But this is the blending solution, and it is old. But we're going to try it anyway. So I have the blending solution from both companies. And then I thought I would try, I was putting these in my D-stash pile, which is coming. I'm going to be filming a D-stash video this week. I'd like to get it on my channel this week or next, so be on the lookout for that. But I was kind of watching some videos and seeing some cool things with other medias, like liquid ink medias, and I thought, well, let me hang on to these and try them out with the alcohol ink and see if I like it. So that's what I have over here. I'm going to move them over here. I am working on the Tim Holtz glass media mats, and I'm going to remove the non-stick surface because I know that will stain. This, because it is glass, it can scratch fairly easily. So I put a paper towel down underneath my tile, which is a great surface for kind of like practicing, because if I don't like it, I can wipe it off and start over. So that's always a nice thing. And then I can drop ink over here if I want to practice with playing around, stuff like that. I did get Yupo paper. I swear I have some Yupo paper in my room somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So, weird. But I got some more. I know I had some because I did alcohol ink stuff years ago, but it was on sale. So I picked it up because it was on sale. I mean, you can't beat that. So I wish they would have had, if they would have had 2 pads, I would have got 2 pads, but they only had 1. Maybe why it was on sale, huh? Okay. So I've seen people use gloves. I'm going to use some gloves. I'll probably get it on my sweater, and it won't matter that I have gloves. I want to get black gloves. Is that weird? Because I want to get black gloves for my art videos. I just think they'll look cooler. I know my stylists, hairstylists and stuff have black gloves. Okay, let me pick out some colors. Then I'm going to come back. I know I should find that whoosh, whoosh, you know, sound effects. Okay, enough. I'm going to pick out some colors, come back, and start playing. You know what, I'm going to just go ahead and show you. I was at Hobby Lobby, and this video isn't about what I bought at Hobby Lobby at all, but I found these unicorn paintbrushes. I have no idea what quality they are. I also found the mermaid ones. No idea what kind of quality they are. It says acrylics and watercolors and oils, so it's like a mixed media brush. Anyway, I thought this one was pretty. I'm pretty sure they're obviously synthetic. I love this wide brush. And then I felt like the unicorn one had more variety, so I had to get them all. Anyway, I'm going to use them today. Just had to say that. I picked out 2 of the alcohol pearl colors, Enchanted and Celestial. I picked out the alcohol inks. This is the Adirondack Lights Shell Pink. I don't think this has a name on it. That was one of the things that was annoying. I cannot find the name. It is a blue, and there is no name. Anyway, this is a green, and again, I cannot see what color it is. Hey, here are my kiddos. And then I picked out a peach. So, let's just go for it. And you don't have to shake them because the ink is already, the only things that you need to shake are like the pearls that do have pigment or particles settling at the bottom. So when you use those, you do need to shake those up. And I don't know if shaking vigorously makes a difference. Oh, okay, so there's a little thingy in there that will help break that up. So let's just see what happens here. I started out trying to create some kind of abstract flowers with the alcohol inks on this tile. So I put down some of that Brea Reese peach color, and then I added some of the blending solution. And now I'm taking a paintbrush and kind of just swirling it around, moving it on the tile and kind of getting the shape. What ends up happening is this doesn't turn into a flower at all. If you saw the thumbnail for the video, you know that it doesn't turn into flowers at all. But I just came down to really experiment and play with these inks. I have not used them in quite a while, and I have ideas of what I want to do with them, but you really just need to play with them and figure out what works, what doesn't work. I love the beautiful backgrounds that I see created with the alcohol inks. But I wanted to try to do something different. Ended up not doing anything different at all, but it was fun to try. You know, I put down some green ink, and you can see how the alcohol inks, when they touch each other, they kind of push the other color away, and it looked pretty cool, but I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling like it was looking like flowers very much at this point. The nice thing about working on the Tim Holtz Media mat is that I can use the glass to drop some inks and pick it up with my paintbrush. So I like that, and it cleans up really easily. So here is where I begin to really just go into a different direction. So I added some of this ocean blue, I believe, color from Brea Reese, and outlined it, added some more of the blending solution to kind of get rid of those other colors. I'm adding some more of the, I don't know if it's the teal or the ocean blue, but here's where, you know, obviously I'm not doing anything with the flowers anymore. So I'm picking up some of the color that was creating just a very muddy color with the peach and the blue, and pick that up. Now I'm adding some of that blue no name Adirondack Alcohol Ink. And what's really cool and what I really wanted to try was mixing the different alcohol inks together to see how they played, and they really play really well with each other. So that's really cool. You don't have to stick with one brand. If you like colors from, you know, across different brands, you can just pick up the colors that you like, which is what I did, and they will play and interact just as they would being alcohol inks. So here I am. I'm just moving the color around with my paintbrush, and I still don't know if anybody knows. I'll probably do some more research, but like, what's the best way to clean your brush if you're using a paintbrush with alcohol inks? You know, should I have some alcohol off to the side to rinse them out? I realized rinsing them in the water wasn't really working. My brush was really dried out, which makes sense because alcohol is very drying. So it did make sense that it would dry out my brush. So I would probably keep these brushes separate. So I like the way that that looks. It's different. Let me zoom you in there. Hopefully you can see all of the colors. Hopefully it's focusing. Focus. So that is really cool. And the neat thing about working on this tile surface, I would get a, I really like this though. So I don't know if I want to clean it up yet, but I could get some alcohol blending. I could use this, but you know, this actually has some binder in it to keep the properties of this when you use it. So if I were to clean it off, I would just use regular isopropyl alcohol. I have 90% or 99% somewhere in the house, and I could just wipe that off and start all over. Okay, so I'm starting on experiment number 2. This is on the Yupo paper. Like I said, I cut it down half to the half size, and I added that blending solution so that the inks would start to blend immediately on the paper. And I just started with one color. I moved it around with my paintbrush. That's the cool thing about this medium, is that you can use a paintbrush to move it around, or you can just add the drops and let it do its thing. I'm playing around here, mixing the colors together on the paper. I also play around with dipping my brush in the alcohol blending solution to get more movement. And I also end up bringing in some of the sorry, this is more alcohol ink. Trying to think of what I was doing. I'm just really playing around with it, seeing how it moves on the paper versus the tile. Adding blending solution to keep some of that white space, because I really wanted to play with the white space. And then I also wanted to mix some mediums in it. So I showed you in the beginning of the video, I had some of that Ken Oliver liquid metal watercolor, and I thought it would be interesting to see how that moves and plays with the alcohol inks on this paper. So here's where I'm bringing that in. It is coral, because you guys know I love coral, and here's where I'm putting some of that blending solution on the glass mat, kind of cleaning off my brush and then trying to blend that watercolor into the paper. Because Yupo paper you can use watercolors on as well as alcohol inks. I know most people tend to think of the Yupo paper for alcohol inks, but you can use it with watercolors. You just get different looks and different effects, which is really cool. So this upper corner here, I really wasn't liking what was going on there. So I'm adding some blending solution, trying to kind of lighten that color a little bit. And it was just creating this really dark, harsh line that I didn't like, because I really liked the soft, loose blends that I got originally when the Yupo paper was still wet and I had added my ink. So the alcohol inks I found on, if you're familiar with alcohol inks and how they work, obviously you know this, they dry super fast. So you kind of have to work really fast, which is interesting because you can't overthink it, because you constantly have to continue to add your color or let it dry and add layers. That's another thing that I want to try in the future, is letting it dry. But when I'm first testing out a new medium, or in this case a medium I have never used, or haven't used in a while, or haven't used in this particular way, I'm very, very, what's the word? I'm very timid. That's what it is. I'm very timid when I'm trying out a new medium, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of experimenting and figuring it out as I go. So you could see there, I really didn't like what was going on. I added a ton of blending solution and let it drip off the page and kind of blended it out. But then I thought it looked like a cave. So that's kind of what I was seeing, this cave. So I added some black alcohol ink, which I was excited to find that I had that in my stash. I added that, and then I added some of the rose gold mixative and created this really dark, moody area in the painting with the bright colors kind of surrounding it. So to me it looks like a cave, or maybe a rock, I don't know. And then of course I tried to add some splatters, but the splatters wasn't actually going on as I thought it would. But I ended up getting some good splatters there. And then I got some in this white space that I didn't want. But what's really cool is that if you add, because this is like a plastic paper, the alcohol ink sits on top but it dries, you can add the blending solution and pretty much wipe it up. There's a little bit of a residue there. If you look closely, you can see, but most of it does wipe away, which was really cool for me to find out. And then I was really happy with the way that this turned out. So this little play with the alcohol inks this morning, and you can see how easy it cleans up off of that glass mat. Just add a bit of the blending solution or just some regular alcohol to your glass mat, wipe it up. Super easy with a paper towel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different for me to try to film and talk at the same time, but then I did add the voiceover in to speed up certain areas. So I hope you kind of enjoyed that. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and if you'd like to see more videos on the alcohol inks, let me know in the comments below. I do have a full subscription, or goodness gracious, I have a full list of the supplies used in this video in the description box, as well as on my blog. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share this video with others if you found it inspiring. Until next time, stay inspired, be creative, and share that with others. Bye guys.